Welcome to Your Driving Force Success Tips. I'm Rod Khleif, and I'm thrilled you're here. This is where I share with you the most valuable things I've learned about the psychology of success. 80% of your success in anything is your psychology, and only 20% is the actual mechanics. These weekly success tips, combined with my interviews with real estate experts, are designed to provide you with all the tools you need to be a success in real estate and build your own cash flow machine. If you like what you hear on these segments, please subscribe to us on iTunes. Welcome to another edition of Your Driving Force Success Tip. Now, this will be unlike my other episodes. In fact, probably unlike any episode I've ever done or ever will do. It's an actual workshop where I'm going to be guiding you through a goal-setting exercise. Now, you can't do this in your car. You can't do this while you're exercising. This is something you really need to do while you're sitting at your desk or table at home so you can write, because you're going to want to write down your goals and some of the other things we're going to do together. Now, this is planning your life, and it's going to be an interactive experience. I prepared a comprehensive goal-setting guide that will help you get through this and really help you maximize this experience. And there'll be a link in the show notes on this episode, or you can just text me. Text SET GOALS as one word, SETGOALS, to 41411. So text set GOALS to 41411, and I'll email it to you, the goal-setting guide. And this goal-setting guide is something that you can use every year. You know, I do my goal setting at least once a year, my big goals, and this is something that you can get use from really forever. Now, you're gonna love this episode because there's nothing more exciting than planning your life and setting your goals. And you will need to pause and start this podcast a couple of times as we get into this so that you have time to write down some of the things I'm going to advise you to write down. And once you're done, you're going to be supercharged and further ahead, frankly, than 99% of the people in this world that just fumble their way through life without any planning. So if you're listening in your car, come back when you're at home or at your office so that you can write this down. Text me to get the copy of the Goal Setting Guide, or just click on the link in the show notes. And, realize that most people spend more time planning Christmas than they spend planning their lives. A lot of people will do New Year's resolutions. They literally don't even write down, and they forget after 2 weeks. There was a study that was done with Yale University back in 1953. They asked the entire graduating class at Yale how many of them had written their goals. And what they discovered was that 3% had written goals. And then what they did is they revisited those people 20 years later. And what was astounding is they discovered the 3% that had written their goals were healthier, they were happier, and they were worth more than the other 97% combined. And the problem here, guys, isn't getting what you want. It's deciding what you want. Now, to do this exercise, you have to take the lid off your mind. There is no limit. I don't know if you've... to give you an idea of what happens when you write your goals down, I don't know if you've ever bought a car and you really didn't notice that car before you bought one. And then when you bought one, you saw it everywhere. That's what's called your reticular activating system. And that system in your body it triggers your mind to filter through all the stuff that it sees every day and hone in on the things that you want. So that's why it's so important to write your goals down. Now we're gonna start with the first 2 pages of the goal setting the goal setting guide. So you have to have it. So go get it. If you need to pause it to get it or text me to get it, do that, and we're going to get started. So a couple of things to remember about this. Very, very important. You have to do this with high energy. You can't be slouched over at your desk. You want to make sure you're breathing well, leaning back, breathing well. Even if you stand up and jump around a little bit. To get your energy level up. Your energy level is critical. And so starting with the first page, we're going to talk about what you did last year. So, and write as fast as you can. You're not going to have a lot of time to do this. This section, actually, you can pause, and we'll pause on this section. The next section, you're really going to have to write fast. But so what did you love about last year? What did you accomplish? Write down what you loved about last year. And then when you're finished with that, I want you to write down what you hated about last year. What was challenging about last year? What don't you want to happen again? So go ahead and pause this and write down what you loved last year and what you didn't love last year. Okay, go ahead and pause it. Okay, I'm back now. Hopefully you did the first section 1 and 2, which is what you loved and what you didn't love about last year. Now we're going to get into the fun part. So in a super high energy state, you're going to write down every goal you want to accomplish in your lifetime, not just this year or next year, anything you've ever wanted. Okay, you're going to pretend it's Christmas and you can have anything you want. Okay, there are no limits. And the greatest Christmas of your life. And I need you to think bigger than you've ever thought. Okay? And once you start writing, don't stop writing. Leave the pen on the paper and keep going. You want to think about every possible thing you've ever wanted. So you ever want a private island? Write it down. So go ahead and get started. Start writing everything you've ever wanted. Maybe you want a new house. Maybe you want a new car. Maybe you want to buy your spouse a new car or a new house. How much money do you want? Write down how much money you want. Maybe you want someone in a relationship. Maybe you want a new relationship. How about places you might want to travel? I have pictures of the places that I want to travel. As a vision board. Write down those places you may want to go. Take a cruise. Go to Europe. Go to Asia. Do you want a second home? Where do you want a second home? Maybe you want homes in more than 1 or 2 places. Do you want a boat? I have a boat. I love my boat. Maybe you want to go back to school and get a degree in something. Write it down. Write down everything you can think of that you could ever possibly want. Maybe you want to learn something. I want to learn how to fly a helicopter. Write it down. Whatever it is you want to learn. Maybe you want to write a book. I'm writing a book right now about multifamily real estate investing. It's going to be done in about three months. What do you want to learn? What do you want to do? Do you want to learn another language? Who do you want to help? Here's a great thing you can do. Who do you want to help? Do you want to help children? Do you want to help elderly people? Maybe there's someone in your family you'd like to help. Write it down. Do you want to take your parents on a trip? I took my parents more than once on cruises. Even my in-laws took them on cruises. There's nothing more exciting than doing something like that for someone. Maybe you want to buy them a house. Buy them a car. I bought my folks a car. And do you want to help your brothers or sisters or friends with something? There's no greater satisfaction than helping other people. Write it down. Write down all the people you want to help. Maybe you want to start a side business. You're listening to this podcast because you want to buy multifamily. So write down your goals in multifamily. How many units do you want? Write it down. Maybe you want to climb a mountain. Maybe there's a sport you want to become good at. I've always wanted to do the drums, and my wife bought me a drum set, and I'm going to learn how to do the drums. Maybe you want a motorcycle. Maybe you want to buy jet skis. Where's somewhere you always wanted to go? Write it down. Who can you help? Take the lid off. Do whatever it is you want to do. Write it down. Okay, go ahead and pause me and keep writing. And then when you're done writing all your goals, turn me back on. Okay, so now you've written all these goals. Now, the next thing you need to do is you need to go through your list very quickly and write down how many years it's going to take to achieve each one of these goals. You want to put down a number 1, a number 3, a number 5, a 10, or a 20. However many years you think it's going to take. Now go, write it down. Write a number by each one of those goals. How many years you think it could take. And remember, God's delays are not God's denials or whatever you believe in. You can accomplish anything if you have enough time. So pause me and write down one of those numbers by each one of those goals. Okay, now you've got a number by each one of your goals, you're going to go back and you're going to circle your top 4 one-year goals. And then once you've circled them, right there on your sheet, you're going to see a spot to write down each one of those goals, numbers 1 through 4. So write down your top one-year goals in the right spots there where it's marked goals. Go ahead. Pause me and write those down. Now, the most important part of writing your goals, if you've listened to some of my other episodes, is your why, because it's your why that's going to drive you. So you're going to go back right now to each one of those top 4 goals, and you'll see a spot underneath each one to write down why it's a must to get that goal within a year. You're going to write down all the positive reasons it's going to, make my life incredible. It'll make my wife, my husband happy. It'll, make me, feel great. It'll be something I've always wanted. You're going to write down all the whys, okay, and use emotional words. It'll be incredible. Use words because words have a lot of, emotional words have a lot of drive. They can push you. So use emotional words when you write this down, the whys. Now, I also list negatives. I'd recommend you list negative reasons why you have to achieve them. If I don't, I'll feel like a failure. Be strong, be hard. If I don't, this will happen or this will happen. So create leverage on yourself with both positive whys and negative whys. It's even more powerful if you throw some negative ones in there. So go back now and write down the whys on every one of your goals. And remember, keep your energy high. Make sure you're breathing, you're leaning back, and write those down. Pause me and write the whys down. Okay, so now you have written all your goals. You've numbered all of them. You've got your top 4-year goals along with why each one of those is a must that you have to get within a year. Now, you never leave write a goal without scheduling something towards its attainment. So you're going to write down a small thing you're going to do immediately, and you're going to write down a big thing you're going to do immediately for each one of those goals. So for each one of those goals, you're going to write down a small thing and a big thing. Go. Write them down. Make sure you schedule this. Don't skip this part. It's critical. So you're writing down the musts that you have to do, your tasks that you have to do, small tasks and large tasks for each one of these goals. Congratulations. You just completed a goal-setting workshop that can really help drive you. And I recommend that you get pictures of these goals. You do a vision board. You write. You put pictures of your goals on your vision board. You put them in front of you, and go do this because you can do this. This is Rod Khleif, and I'll see you at the top.